This is the most excited I've felt for a pet in years. Welcome to the new episode. I was just doing Slayer, and here's the cowboy princess. I started hyperventilating. So KQ, my least favorite boss. KQ pet, one of the best pets in the game. Both the big one and the small one. I actually like the small one more, which I know isn't how most people feel about it, but yeah. I never have to do KQ again. And I have the coolest fucking pet. How sick is that? How sick is that? So I just did a couple challenge modes with my friends, and I got an ancestral top. So that's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty much completely useless for me until I get a shadow or the ancestral bottoms. I'm sure it gives me a max hit like under super specific conditions here or there. I don't know what those conditions are, so it's still exciting, but it doesn't give any accuracy or anything. So in most situations, it's pretty much the same as a Virtus top. So I just did some master clues, and there's the gilded pickaxe. So my gilded luck is absolutely insane. I have so much fucking gilded. But this is actually a cool piece, because whenever I'm just doing granite or something, I can use it to flex. I am currently going for my second smoldering stone, so just in case in the future I want to do 4G, I can get some extra smithing XP. I have insane luck on Serb. I've made so much money from this boss, it's actually kind of absurd. And that's also 900 collection log slots. So a while back, I said I don't want to hit 900 because I would be a clogger by that point. And all my friends are going to make fun of me now. But sailing came out, that was like 40, 30 extra collection log slots. So yeah, I couldn't really avoid it, but yeah, I guess I'm somewhat of a clogger now. And that's the scariest pet. I was pretty close to being on trade, but I keep spooning pets. Now, there are two pets I'm trying on, and it's Abyssal Sire, which I'm lucky on Sires, but I'm trying the pet, and it's Rexer. I did about 1000 kills before I started sacrificing, so I'm a bit overrated on Rexer too. But yeah, that's curious. I haven't spooned every single pet in the game, just like the vast majority of them. I've been kinda burnt from Slayer, and I decided the best thing to do about it is to go and hunt soup pet. So I'm at one task away from 5000 per tasks, and the rate for a soup pet from these tasks is 1 out of 6000. Now, I have done 99 sailing, so I am already over rate for it. But I wanted to talk a bit about the method I'm doing. So as you can see, I'm just going between Portserum and Pandemonium because it's my current belief that if you have no bottle storms, there's actually no point in doing Aldarian tasks. I don't think it meaningfully speeds up the grind, like any substantial amount. The best numbers I've gotten from Aldarian have it at like 1 hour faster, maybe. So yeah, without Puddle Storm, I think just doing this over and over again is the best way to hunt for the pet. And there's soup. I'm so happy. That's 9794 per tasks. Just quite didn't manage to hit 10k. What a grind, but that's all pets from skilling and skilling minigames re-obtained. I'm hopefully done with sailing for like years and years now. But that's a fucking good pet. Gotta be like one of my favorites in the game. Look how cute he is. Amazing. Good morning, gamers. The cow post came out today, and there's the pet. I got it on 115 kc. I'm actually kinda disappointed that the fast respawn time is 12 ticks. Hopefully they change that at some point. But since I got super spooned, it doesn't even matter. For the first time ever, I'm giving up on a RuneScape grind. And that's gonna be Huey. So for the past 3 days I've been doing solos mostly, And I have 3 Dragon Hunter ones, which is pretty decent money for the. But my mental just can't take it. This isn't the boss that I can just like grind day in and day out. I need to do it like once a week or so to like retain my sanity. So yeah, this is going on pause for now. And if I find teams, I'm gonna do the boss. If I don't have teams, I'm not gonna do the boss. So yeah, it's gonna get finished through like bingos, friends, whatever. But I am not grinding this out. And on that note, I think I'm gonna go back to skilling for a while because the main reason I wanted to do Huey was to get my seed stacks back up. And I have so many seeds now. I have like an absurd amount of seeds. So I'm just gonna be doing thrift nets and herb runs for a while. And yeah, hopefully get my hunter up, get my fishing up, and get my herbler up. I've been kinda locked in when it comes to scaling recently, and I've just been doing a bunch of artifacts and fire making. So I banked all of these logs like a couple years ago now when I did 100 mil wood killing, and I haven't used them all. So I decided that it's time to finally get another 100 mil, and yeah, this was just the one that I ended up settling on. I've kinda been trying to stop skill hopping as much as I normally do, but yeah, it's kinda difficult for me. And there's 100 mil fire making. I think the next goal is gonna be 100 mil thieving, and finishing off a couple ones after that would also be kinda nice. And this should be 100 million thieving XP. So yeah, I mean that's feeling done. I'm gonna move on to Hunter next, I think, and I'm just gonna do some drift nets. Now there is a bit of a complicated situation. I don't normally spend that much time talking about long-term routing on these videos, because I feel like most of the time is not that interesting given how often plans change. However, with Hunter, there is a new herbal method which is the coral farming, which requires Hunter for rainbow crabs. Now the situation I'm in right now is that it's not really worthwhile for me personally to change my whole routing to do coral herbal with Hunter. So what I'm personally planning to do is to just do most of my herbal normally and kinda ignore corals. Good morning, gamers. I checked the update post today, and there's a bunch of changes to sailing. So to get dragon hooks, you only have to kill 250 sharks on average instead of 1000. And that means that dragon hooks are kinda something I don't think I would mind doing, because it's only like one day. And I finally decided that I'm gonna start working on sailing at some point, because the only method that I actually like for sailing is 1.5 tick salvage, and before this update it was really questionable to even try to get dragon hooks, because if you go dry it's like 50 hours, and at that point like are you even like saving time over June hooks? But yeah, now that that's like viable, I'm gonna start working on getting the sailing drops. So I don't think sailing is gonna like super factor into any of my plans. Whenever I run out of seeds, I might do sailing for a while, because it seems like fairly reasonable as a source of seeds. But overall, yeah, it's just gonna be something else that I can work on whenever I feel like it. Because realistically, it's just woodcutting 2 now. Like, I'm getting the same XP rates, maybe slightly more than I would when I was doing woodcutting. And yeah, it's gonna be super chill. I'm just gonna knife log the entire skill and pretend that I'm not on a boat. And that's the second dragon hook. So yeah, that's basically everything I need to do from sailing, I think. I don't really want to go for a bottle storm, mostly because the facilities are kinda expensive and I would have to make a new boat probably, and I don't really want to worry about all that. But yeah, so this is gonna be basically just my plan for sailing XP in the future. The combat was actually pretty enjoyable. It wasn't because of the drop rates or like the max hits or whatever, it was just because I could actually AFK because of the buttons, bench, and fire at will updates. Like, I don't know why they like spent so long trying to fix sailing combat when the actual fix is like make it so you can just stand still and AFK. Cause I would not have minded doing like 2000 kills of this. I only ended up doing about 400, and it was just overall kind of pleasant. But yeah, I mean, that's it done. I realized that I actually have enough resources to build both dragon hooks. So yeah, I mean, that's those built, which is pretty cool to see. I actually never expected to have these. Now there's a couple more things I would like on this boat. I would like to make it entirely rosewood just for like quality of life when it comes to salvaging. And I would also like a rosewood cargo hold, but that should be entirely passive from Slayer, because Frost Dragon tasks are pretty decent to do, so I can just extend them and do whatever when that update comes out. So yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a cool boat eventually, but as far as RNG drops go, it's essentially done, because I wouldn't really consider like a 1 in 40 or whatever it is from dragons to be an RNG drop. Good morning, gamers. I'm at 93 mil hunter XP, and that means I have about 10 more days of driftnet left, and I want to have enough herb seeds to keep doing driftnet for those 10 days. If I look into my bank, I currently don't have 10 days worth of herb seeds, because I'm not going to farm these Harlanders as of this moment. So I need to get more seeds. And even though I've been doing Huey whenever possible, I don't think that's like a super viable choice right now, because I don't really want to look for a duo because my ult isn't bonded. So the second best option would be doing Muspa, and I need to do about 800 Muspa to bank enough Rainer seeds to last me for like the driftnet thing, and that would also put my pastes in parity, because I'm trying to get 525,000 paste of each type for my mixology grind, because that's how much I think would be efficient at the current moment. So what I'm gonna be doing is just killing that boss, hoping I get the pet, but if I don't get the pet, it's fine. And I'm gonna bank some snapdragon seeds along the way, which are actually really useful, because Mixo has been such a sink for Rainer seeds. I don't really have like prayer potions and super restores for PBM right now. And if I'm banking some snapdragons, that problem will be alleviated to a degree. So I think that's like the perfect solve for my current Hurler issues. So I was just doing some Huey with a friend, and here's the pet. I've been kinda grinding it for a while because it was the last like super mid-game pet I had left. And yeah, that's like all the like mid-game pets done pretty much, which is pretty nice. I did bond up my ult like yesterday, so I'm just gonna keep it at wires. It's not ideal, but what can you do? But yeah, anyway, that's pet number 37. I have been feeling pretty bad lately because of health reasons, so I haven't been recording anything. But if I go to my POH, you can see, if you can find him, that I got the Muspa pet. So I spooned it super hard. I only did, let's see, 849 KC. So I mean, I got super lucky on that one. I didn't actually want to get that lucky, because now I'm gonna have to use some Avantos for mixology, which isn't ideal, but the pet is really cute, and I'm happy I have it. And that is 100 million Hunter XP. Now I'm gonna have to do some more drift nets, because I still have about 700 nets. And then I'm gonna have to hunt a bunch of crabs for corals at some point in the future. But yeah, that's the 100 mil done. After I finish my nets, I'm gonna start working on cooking. I did an hour of World Hub Karambans today, and that means it should be enough for 100 mil cooking banked once I finish the nets I have. So yeah, I'm gonna still be here for like another day. But yeah, that's another 100 mil. And that is the 4th one right now, which is pretty cool. And the 5th one is coming like super soon because cooking is gonna be really fast. Good morning, gamers. Today was the first batch of the 2026 summer sweep up, and that included the Soul Reaper X becoming like way better. So what I'm currently gonna do is I'm gonna start working on the Nightmare, and I'm gonna grind for Sanis until I get the stuff. So on the way to the stuff I expect a couple other drops, and the reason why I'm doing the Nightmare now is pretty much every drop, like the Inquisitor, the Mace, and the Harmonized Orb, would be a substantial upgrade to the Maggot King. So if I manage to get any of these on the way to the Nightmare stuff, I'm gonna be able to get way better KPH at the Maggot King. So I'm gonna start working on this grind, and given that I'm getting pretty close to 100 mil cooking, I'm just gonna do a couple hours of it per day and basically spend the rest of the day on PVM. So yeah, I just need to do like 8 more hours of cooking, and then I also want to work on smithing after cooking. So my current plan is to basically go between PVM and skilling and just like work on both simultaneously, because the PVM grinds I have currently are pretty intense like Fusani's, so getting a break for some relatively AFK skilling is pretty comfy. Okay, I'm kind of freaking the fuck out. I haven't recorded anything in like another week or something, but that's the Nightmare pet on 160 KC. I didn't think it was possible. I'm gonna keep doing Fusanis for the recolor. Like I absolutely have to do that, but after that I don't really have any reason to stay at the bus. Okay, so here's what happened. I'm gonna throw some pictures up on the screen, but the Soul Reaper X buffs came out, and I decided I'm gonna need the PVM because, you know, it's a fun weapon and it's cool. So what I ended up doing is I went to Fosani's Nightmare, and I stayed here until I got my first drop because I just wanted to get the Nightmare stuff, and my first drop was the Nightmare stuff. Nothing else was individually worth grinding for. So once I got the Nightmare stuff, I decided to go to the Maggot King. And at the Maggot King, I went like 460 KC without any drops. I got my first Kisten, then I got my second Kisten, and like 60-70 kills later, I got my Elder Venator Fang, and yeah, that was it for Maggot King. I didn't have to do any more of that boss. So after that I decided I wanted to pet hunt something, and since I had a lot of fun at Fosani's, I decided to come back. And yeah, this is what happened. I definitely do need the recolor, so I'm not out of Fosani's. I could go 5 times try for it and I could be here for 1,000 kills, and that's fine. Totally fine with that, but this is so cool. Like, this is one of the hardest pets in the game, and I just spooned it. I was just talking to my friends the other day, and I was talking about how many pets I have spooned, and I was going over through my KCs. I was using the pet sheet, and what I found out is that even though I had spooned a lot of pets, I have a lot of KC at a lot of places, and I hadn't really spooned too many high value pets. Like before this, it was basically Kriara that I had like saved 1,000,000 hours on. Like KQ pet was also like super spooned, and I probably saved a bunch of time on KQ. But the only one that was like a really long grind that I spooned was Kree. So yeah, now I'm definitely like super lucky on pets. Oh my god, this is just unbelievable. I'm like actually in shock. This is fucking insane. I didn't even see the pet. I have like things set up in a bunch of Discords, right? And what happened is the pet spawned like right under Nightmare. So I didn't even see the pet drop. I just saw the notifications go up. I was like, oh, did I get like an XP milestone? Did I hit like an HP XP milestone or something? I'm so far from that. And yeah, then I just saw Nightmare Pet, and I tapped back into the game, and oh my god, this is just unbelievable. That's pet number 39. I mean, I'm just cracked at the game, I suppose. I don't know, I just get lucky. And that is 100 million cooking. So I haven't been able to record in a bit, but as you can see, I got the mace, and this was my first drop ever. And now I got the egg. So originally I was planning to stay at Fasani even after the egg, and that was because I wanted one piece of Inquisitor, because the first piece of Inquisitor's armor is guaranteed to be unique. So given that I got the mace though, I don't know how valuable Inquisitor is, because when it comes to like what I can spoon, because that's like how I'm approaching this boss, it's kinda only the harm orb, and if I were to go for a piece of Inquisitor, I would want to go for the hauberk or the plate skirt, and I think I would still stay if I got the helm. So this is 1 in 350, and if I go like 5 times try, I could go like 2k KC before seeing one, and given that I got the mace already, that's like the best drop I could get from the boss pretty much. So now that I have the egg, there's really no reason to stay at Fasani, because I obviously want all the transmogs for all of my pets, and you know, that's the transmog for the pet. I mean, I'm never gonna use it, to be completely honest. I'm gonna keep it as a regular nightmare, but you know, the important thing is having it, not using it. And I think this is actually gonna be the end of the episode. I'm currently on a Konar task for the Hydra, and I think my next grind is going to be pet hunting Hydra. There's 2 ways to do it. First of all, you can do Konar with Turiel to get Hydra tasks, and this was the only way to really hunt this pet for a while. But now that Mortimer came out, I think that's going to be overall more efficient for me, because the other tasks are actually gonna be like reliable, and I mean that's pretty much true for Konar too, but I feel like just having like the inbuilt Turiel tasks that Mortimer does is gonna make this grind just like way more interesting, I suppose, because Turiel tasks are just really boring. So yeah, I'm planning to hopefully pick up some other pets if I don't spoon the Hydra pet, and it's gonna be overall a pretty fun grind. I'm gonna get my Slayer up, which is, you know, a long-term goal is to get 100 mil base, and Slayer is one of my lower skills, so that's something I have to like always be working on too. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do Mortimer, and I'm gonna keep going until I have the Hydra pet. Other than that, we got so many skilling goals done in this video, like just an absurd amount, and I'm gonna go back to skilling at some point. I wanna do smithing and runecraft. Those are like the 2 skills I wanna work on next. And overall, I'm at a really fun point in my account, I think, because I basically have all the non-raids gear, and I don't really like raids, so realistically the only gear upgrade that I would want right now is a Bellator ring, which is a pretty cool position to be in. Also, I want to apologize for like how scuffed the last part of this video has been. I have a chronic throat issue right now, which hopefully can get treated, but it's pretty hard for me to talk, so yeah, I've just been recording like a lot less than I normally would, even though I normally don't even record that much. But yeah, next episode should be a bunch of Slayer, and I also want to do some Mad Angel, because that's my hard clue source for right now. So hopefully I get enough elite clues to turn into master clues that a Mad Angel pet is basically 0 time. And I also need to do some runescape goat hunting. So one of my like baseline goals has always been to get all skilling pets, and right now I'm missing one. So this is pretty high priority, But I'm not really gonna fully commit to the grind until we know what the drop rate is, because if it's like 1 in 50k, I wanna have a completely different approach than if it's like 1 in 20k. If it's like relatively common, I'm just gonna do like a session of grinding it out, but if it's kinda rare, I'm gonna go do the goat pet like every now and then and not like fully commit to it. But yeah, that's gonna be like the upcoming grinds. It's just a lot of Hydra, a lot of Slayer, and the new Wormscrake stuff.